sometimes we can have a lot of things kind of building up on us all at once, and we can be having a hard time. But at the same time, we could recognize that overall, given how we might have acted in the past, we're actually not doing too badly. We're not doing too badly. The video that you're about to see here was in December 24, just a couple days after I had had my breakdown and I ended up destroying my phone. Had nothing to do with the phone, but see the last videos. And just a couple days later, my basement flooded. And this video was just about that. I'll probably fast forward through some of the stuff where I was just getting stuck in the details. The point of this is to show the mood I was in and what I was trying to process things, and how talking about how I got a little bit triggered and was questioning myself for other things I'd done about self-faith and going, well, hey, that costs money, or this would be this, and trying to process things. And then at the same time, I was also attending a 3-day workshop for being a coach. And while I was mopping up my basement, and that also was triggering a lot of self-doubts, a lot of my capability wounds at the same time. So I was dealing with having just cost myself a very costly mistake, but recovering, still down from that. Basement was flooded because the sump pump glitched out, and it was just a switch and the thing wasn't getting hit right. I got a new one. And then the capability wounds from the coaching workshop, which is, that's supposed to encourage you, but it was kind of doing the opposite for me. So all these things all happening at once. But overall, I think I did well. I was struggling for a few days, but about a week afterward, I was doing much better. In fact, I eventually at the end of December, I wrote a poem that was inspired by that workshop. It asked us about what makes us worthy of love. And then I'm very happy with that poem, actually. But, within a week after this, that beginning of December, for a good month and a half, I was actually doing very, very well, and had some down times again. So the point of showing these pieces is to show other people who might be going through something similar, that a lot of times, it's hard. We feel like we're failing ourselves. We feel like we're not doing well enough. And it's just to show that, hey, this doesn't make you broken. It doesn't make you unusual. A lot of people go through some of these things at different times. In our own ways, it's part of the human experience, unfortunately. And it all depends on what we've gone through. But we can also work through things and figure out tools to help us to process these things better and slowly get better. And it doesn't last forever. Right now it's March, so it's 4 months later. January, February, March, 3 months later. And I've been doing pretty well, doing well. Still a lot of work, but I'm cool. So gonna carry on and show you the video that was from December when I was just dealing with that basement. Again, some parts I'll just fast forward because they're just details where I was just getting lost in the details of where things were flooded. I want to focus on the emotional stuff. So, but just remember, these times can be difficult in the moments, and we can have a lot of things build up on us. But the biggest thing is to give ourselves grace and to not beat up on ourselves for it, because that's usually what then sinks in and makes these things last for so much longer than the original thing, at least for me. Something I'm still working on. But yeah, so there you go. Take care. My sump pump stopped working yesterday. People didn't think to all this stuff over there. That's what I do. My hand is over here. And see, actually, all these are like, and here, think I actually get one. So it goes up. I only hear 60 seconds. Yeah. So I got things. Yeah. With the stuff I already did with the phone the other day, certainly I was hoping not to have too many other really stressful things happen. I had even been thinking yesterday when I was walking home from the store, the phone store, because I got a new phone, that, you know what, overall, I'm doing pretty well considering the situation. I wasn't beating up on myself. I didn't feel like I was going down into a depression. I wasn't cycling on it too much. My mood's down perfectly reasonably. Before I went to the phone store, I even did some mirror work for myself, which I wouldn't have been doing earlier in the year, because I was like, I know from my experience at the retreat that what I connected with is in there. Even if after on Tuesday, my emotions were overwhelming me and feeling stressful, even when that was happening, I wasn't beating up on myself for it. I was just trying to finish that little update video that I was making, which is why I had the phone in my hand. And then I just got overwhelmed and through the phone, because like it just like part of me just wanted to get the thing. It wasn't about the phone at all. It was just whatever emotions. I think deep down there's an incapability when I was feeling incapable because I couldn't make a video fast enough. I just wanted to make a short little update, and it was like longer, and the things that had been bothering me earlier, which is why I had to stop something, was just things taking me too long. But besides the point, after I threw the phone, I was beating up on myself. but you know, I talked with someone later on, and then yesterday I did pretty well. So I was thinking, and this morning I was like, when I was kind of checking in with some people, I was telling them, like, overall, I'm actually doing well. This actually is improvement. I'm doing, even if I had a slip up. But then with this, I was on my phone with my bestie when we came down and I saw the basement, which I knew there was something up. Last night I could tell there was something with the sump pump. It seemed like it was not pumping as much water as it should have. But it was too late to do anything. But then, as it turned out, it died sometime while I was sleeping. So I came downstairs to a very flooded basement. I didn't think it was gonna be that bad. So it wasn't a complete surprise. But when I was talking with my bestie on the phone, I started to talk, but then I started getting judgmental with myself for other things that I did, and sitting there going, I shouldn't have done that because that's money that I could have used for this, and mistakes and stuff around the whole problem, that the whole basement thing, the water thing was an issue from when I bought the place, because the people lied to me. And I know for a fact they lied to me, because my neighbors told me that they knew, and they said they didn't know. But beside the point, but I was getting worked up and being judgmental on myself and being hard on myself. And my bestie, she was reminding me, it's like telling us, like, Ken, you never give yourself any grace. You know, give yourself the space to do things. It's like, it's okay. He's like, you know, mistakes happen, and she actually was trying to do some breathing work with me, and you know, then we talked about some other stuff that was called about, but she was being a good friend, and I really appreciated it. And I actually was taking some time to sink in. You know, I wasn't really letting it in, but I wasn't fighting either. But you know, but I was being hard on myself, but maybe 15, 20 minutes directly. My bestie could tell you for sure how long it was, but and you know, still just in the mood. But this, I'd wanted to talk more freely with her, but then this was just, my mind just wasn't giving me words because just a little bit overwhelmed, and I could feel I was closed off some. But I called her back after we talked, and I just told her it's like how much I appreciate it, and it did help, and I was glad. But even then, even still, even though I was slipped up this morning, was just being hard on myself, because just one more thing on top of it, and I gotta go and figure out, I gotta look up sump pumps and get a sump pump, and I gotta get back to the 3-day course that I'm in for the workshop for running a coaching business and learning how to do that. I left it to make this video, but I gotta get back to that, but I wanted to get this done. But But overall, I'm still not cycling out of control. It's like, yeah, I had a slip up. And we're going to have slip ups. I mean, I even went during the journey, I told myself, I know I'm going to have some hard times still. It's going to take time. So, but remember that it's like, if you're going through similar things, you know, when we slip up, it's not the end. It doesn't mean that we can't get back on track and we can't get in touch with that part of ourselves that does want to help us. Because even before I went to the phone store, I actually did some mirror work for myself, which I wouldn't have, you know, just even though I was in the mood, I'm like, no, I do know. I connected with the part of myself that does want to help me and it does care about me. So I know that I have that for myself, even if I'm in a mood right now. So I'm not going to quit up, whatever. And I'm going to figure out how to use my own hard experiences and go through it, and who knows, maybe it would help someone else in the future. But just wanted to share that if you're going through similar things, you're not alone. And I know it's a cliche thing to say, but I understand. I mean, I do understand it. Boy, do I understand it. But it doesn't mean we have to give up, and it doesn't mean it is permanent. So keep going. See ya. As I picked it up, it was pouring. Oh man, I got that on my shoe.